Hi there! Welcome to Fantasy for the Ages, the show where a father, a son, and maybe some other people sit around and talk about fantasy books. It's a very fun special episode here today. I'm Zach. I'm the son of this equation here.
I'm Jim. I'm the father. We're glad to have you with us here as, yes, indeed, special occasion. We celebrate having finally conquered our deep dive chapter by chapter through book 5 of the Wheel of Time, The Fires of Heaven.
We're kind of a third of the way through, sort of.
Yeah, no, I mean, technically, probably, maybe, no, about a third of the way through. Yeah, I think that's just where it falls. How you doing today, Zach?
I'm doing okay. It was a good day. I went out and bought more books today. So, any day I do that is always a good day.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great as well. I also bought more books. Mine were of the Audible variety, but indeed, I finished 2 different books, started 2 new books, and that's always a good day. Especially since one of the books I finally finished was a Malazan book, and those are chunkers, man, and it was so good. But
I told you I started one of those.
You did,
right?
You did. Dude, look above you. It's on the screen now. The book you're reading.
Cool. I can't see it. I'm blind.
You can't see it?
Nope.
Oh, man, why does that happen?
I don't know. I just assumed there wasn't a background today. There it is. Oh,
now
you
can see it. Okay, I don't know what happens with you, but there it is.
25% at this point. I'm getting there.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned you couldn't see it. All right, well, as we are doing a wrap-up celebration of one of our books, we have guests with us. We always like to have people on to just kind of celebrate and have some fun with these awesome books of this book series. So we've got a couple of gentlemen with us from the Black Tower podcast today, and let's welcome them to our screen. We've got Andrew and Josh. Hello, sir.
Howdy. Andrew,
howdy.
did you see I got that on the first try this time? Did you see? Are you proud of
that?
me?
No, I'm proud of you.
Or...
A little bit.
Proud of you. All those late nights of practice in the dark by yourself while you're crying definitely paid off.
Hey, I don't want to hear about what he does practicing in the dark by himself.
Especially while crying.
Careful.
Especially while crying.
The tears are important.
The tears are
goodness.
important.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for being with us. Tell these fine folks who are watching this who you are and whatever else you want to say about you, your content, and such. Except what you do in the dark when you're crying. Don't say that.
That's most of what we do is things in the dark.
I mean,
we're the Black Tower podcast where we always make questionable decisions and even leave even more questionable lives. So we talk about the Wheel of Time. We're a full spoiler podcast and we upload to YouTube as well. We pick topics or themes or some kind of like metaphysics principle, and we talk about that topic throughout the entire series. So we'll pick a character and we'll talk about them, through however many books they happen to survive. We'll do the same with cultures and that kind of stuff. And we've gotten pretty lucky. We've been able to have like Kate Reading and Michael Kramer on very early on. We got to interview Kate Fleetwood. So those are some really fun non-spoiler
luminaries
episodes if you're looking for those.
oh yeah.
Awesome. Josh, you want to say anything?
My name is Josh, also from the Black Tower podcast, and we like to do a weekly Watt Fantasy League. So where we're following along with the TV show, we got a bunch of different people that pick teams. You get points. If you win a fight, you lose points. If you lose a fight, all the goodness. And we do that every Sunday. So definitely come check that out.
Fun stuff. All right. Well, thank you for being here with us to bring some of that fun stuff to our episode.
Thanks for inviting us.
Oh, absolutely. Now, part of the fun stuff on our show is connected with what we're drinking, because we do have the constant principle that you do content better when you're imbibing. It's simple. If you are watching this and you don't drink this, absolutely fine. No pressure on you. Heck, you can drink water. Water's liquid.
You probably should. Everyone at my work says I should. I don't.
But Zach, you also say water is dangerous because everyone who drinks it dies.
While true fact, yeah, we're just going to leave it there.
So I would like to know what people are drinking today. Zach, what are you drinking?
So without trying to spoil what you're going to be drinking, I heard what you were going to be drinking and said, I don't have that. But what I do have is something blue, blue curacao.
Okay.
And then the only rum I had in my house was Malibu.
Where is the rum gone?
And about the only mixer I still had was Dr. Pepper.
Oh,
So those three things went together, and it's surprisingly okay.
Okay.
I
I'm
thought
surprised.
it was going to be disappointing. I might actually make a second, and I'm confused, conflicted, but okay with it.
Okay. All right.
They're all really sweet, so it probably helps
Yeah.
them work together.
That's true. That's true. Josh, we saw you're drinking something. Show off what you got to start with.
I got my standby right now. It is the Sailor Jerry. We got the official drink of the Black Tower. And following in the footsteps of my good friend Scott Pilgrim, we just Coke Zero. This is how we do it.
That'll work. That'll work. Andrew, how about you?
So the first thing I have to get me a boost when starting is what I call Me Wee Glencairn of whiskey. This is the Chivalry brand. I showed y'all the bottle before we started, but the Chivalry brand, it's a French whiskey. I've never had a French whiskey. I'm not going to say too much about it because I'll probably review it on TikTok or something. But the mainstay for tonight, after this is done, will be the Voodoo Ranger Juicy Haze or Juice Force IPA. So
excellent. Everybody has goodness to have fun with. Now, for a lot of our Wheel of Time episodes, I do craft a cocktail. Occasionally, I've gotten lazy or too busy, but not today. Not this day. So I have crafted a special cocktail for us, and I'm going to now make some of it, the last few steps, live for you on screen. Let me bring in a special camera. I've got extra tech here today. So there you've got my place to make a beverage, and I'm then gonna zoom in on this one. Let's see, how can I do that? We'll just make it solo for a moment so we can all see. You're all still live though, guys. Feel free to talk. They can hear you.
Okay, I gotta ask, what number is facing the top on that D20?
It's an 11. I wasn't going to overshoot here, but I'm telling you, this drink's at least an 18. So there, I just changed it.
There you go.
and you're ready for noble Klingon battle as well. So
absolutely.
Ooh.
Showing it proud. Many fandoms here. Many fandoms. Okay, what I have for us to start off with, this is 3 parts orange juice, 2 parts pineapple juice, and then just all blended up with some ice. So we've got a frozen foundation here. Okay. Then we are going to add to this, got my trusty little shot glass here. We're going to add a bit of blue curacao on top. So I'm putting in basically another ounce.
Is it bad that I want you to spill?
Yes, that's bad. Now, if I do, it's your fault, man. Now, if you'll notice, it doesn't stay on top. It kind of bleeds through a bit. Okay, we get some prettiness here. And what I want you to imagine, as it continues to settle, you'll get more and more blue down to the bottom. You get some hovering, but picture this now being clouds in a blue sky. Okay, so we've got clouds, we've got blue sky. And then what we need to add on top of that is, I mean, if you remember, of course, the name of the book, we're going to need some fire because I am making for you, my friends.
Oh, my God.
The fires of heaven. So I'm adding to this a little 151 rum. Now, I do have to preface this. Definitely some safety here. What I'm about to do, you may not want to repeat at home. Okay, I'm just going to get this just right. There it is. It's floating. Now, I've put this 151 rum inside this lime boat, and I'm going to light this sucker on fire.
Maybe.
Maybe.
No, I will.
This time. Possibly.
Nope, she's burning.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's how you know it's good.
okay.
151. The flame's hard to see. That's burning nice.
If you turn out all your lights right now, we'll be able to
Ooh.
see it.
Ooh,
Well, I
ooh.
can't turn out all my lights right now, but I can turn out some.
We can see a
there
little
we
bit
can see
of
a little
flame.
bit of it.
Oh yeah.
When the
And I
flame,
can see the
when the
lime
flame licks the
darkening
boat,
as
you can
well.
really see it. There you go.
There we go,
There
nice
we
little
go. There we
black
go.
drop.
I've got the fires of heaven now here, people. Yeah, by the way, 151 rum is extremely flammable. So if you choose to make a drink of this ilk, the more rum you add to it, the bigger your flame. And don't have the rest of the rum by it when you light it.
Also, fun fact, if you spill some,
Or-
be careful how you clean it up and where you dispose of what you cleaned it with.
And if,
Don't burn down your house, people.
and if you do have it next to the rest of the rum, you will fastly become acquainted with a little weave called Fireball.
Correct.
Do, 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 do.
Indeed. The other thing I'll mention, it's still burning here. You may be able to tell. Some people will come on to YouTube and will go ahead and drink while it's burning. Don't do that.
No.
That's actually really stupid. Instead, I've still got the flame here. If I'm impatient,
Especially if you
all I
have
have to
facial
do is
hair.
sink the ship. Okay,
Maybe.
yeah. It's actually burning better than ever right now, so it's hard for me to sink the ship. I forgot to
Get a
bring the
pen.
spoon with me. The spoon.
Use-
Yeah, spoon. Oh,
I've got a
use the
bat
bat
There you
left.
go.
I've got a bat left.
Honorable
This'll
battle,
work.
yes.
That's not going to burn.
No,
There we go. Down you go. Now I have a dirty bat left. All right.
Now lick the blood of your drink off of your bat left like a true Klinger. Give him an honorable death.
Oh, goodness gracious. So we'll just remove that
Very well
camera
done,
now. But there
It was
you
beautiful.
go.
It was beautiful.
And that'll
It
be a
looks
tasty
incredible.
drink. I'm going to choose to remove the lime from it before I drink because that'll just keep smacking me in the mouth. But cheers to all of you. Thank you for being here.
Sir, I feel like there's a reason you're like a 3-time Gathering Madness cocktail contest winner. Champion.
Practice, practice, practice.
It's almost not fair.
Yeah, no, I can say I did not miss out on not being able to go out places when I turned 21 because I was living at home.
With my bar.
It was
Yes.
fine. I had a bar, I had a bartender. It was great.
Good stuff.
All right.
All right. Well, with that fun shenanigans out there, let's. Oh, I just got a text from my wife. She's overhearing and she's like saying, oh, no, she's probably watching live. She just literally texted me, hey, where's my shout out? Because that drink was inspired by my wife.
Aww.
So I was
Very
supposed to give her some credit. She was like, how about, fires of heaven? There should be some flame. And yeah, there we go.
There's your shout out. There's
Wait.
your shout out.
Thank
You
you,
mean
Judy.
Mom
Love you.
told you
Sorry
to
for
play
being a
with
schmuck.
fire?
Thank you, Mrs.
Yeah.
Fantasy, for the ages.
All right. Yeah, and she's now laughing with tears. Or that's just the emoji. But anyways, let's get into talking about some Wheel of Time content then. We're 5 books into the Wheel of Time, which, yeah, Zach and I are pretty much sure, that's a third of the way through the book series. We've certainly got in there the prequel, New Spring, which is shorter, but then you add to it how freaking long the last 3 books are. I think it's fair to say this is a third of the way through the series. So I would like to hear from each of you. What order would you put the first 5 books in, your preference? Okay. Which one's your favorite and work your way down, or which one's your least favorite, work your way up. They're all good books, but let's hear what you think. And Zach, you go ahead first this time.
Okay. First pick is easy for me. It's my favorite book of the series, Shadow Rising. It's just my favorite. My next one, First time reading, it was one of my least favorite. However, I've grown to appreciate it, and on like rereads, it's become pretty top tier for me. The Dragon Reborn.
Okay.
Now we're jumping to the Fires of Heaven that we just did. Back to the Eye of the World, and then I'm sorry, but way too often I get bored in the Great Hunt. Some people would roast me over a fire for that.
It's
but,
fair.
You know, it's fine.
You love what you love, man. You love what you love. Andrew, how about you?
So my favorite is exactly the one that y'all just finished. Fires of Heaven. The Fires of Heaven is my favorite book, not just out of these 5, but from the entire series. So that will always be my favorite book answer, as long as book 5 is included in the scope. After book 5, then I go with Shadow Rising, which I think is a lot of people's favorite from the entire series period as well. After Shadow Rising, I gotta go with. It's always hard for me to choose between Dragon Reborn and the Great Hunt, because actually I'm one of the people I really enjoyed Great Hunt. I'm gonna go with Great Hunt at number 3, Dragon Reborn at 4, and Eye of the World at 1. Least favorite out of the first 5.
Okay.
Ooh.
Josh, throw us your picks.
I'm about to go right across the grain here because look, my favorite one of the first 5 is the first book. And I'm not going to say because it's like nostalgia. I'm not going to say because it's like well written, better written than the others. Blah, blah. No, it's the one that kicked the whole adventure off for me.
Okay. All right.
I used to give people the Eye of the World and I'd say, here, read the prologue. And they'd go, whoa. And then I'd say, yeah, chapter 1 starts 3,000 years after that. And they go, what? And that's it. They're hooked. They're in. They're done. It's gone. The long adventure hath begun. And the book 1 will always hold a very special place in my heart for that very reason. Then we want to go to my number 2 is going to be Fires of Heaven because it's great. I love it. And then right there, just in order, Shadow Rising, Dragon Reborn, The Great Hunt. And I want to make sure that I am very, very clear on this point. None of these books are books that I did not enjoy.
Absolutely.
This is the order in which I love them all, but this is the order in which I enjoyed them probably, most to least. And that's like saying, Eye of the World is a 10, Fires of Heaven is a 9.5. Shadow Rising is a 9.4.
They're all right there. Yeah, we hear you. I have to admit, I don't often hear the Eye of the World as their favorite of the first 5, but you have great reasons. I get it.
I mean, it
totally understand.
It's what kicked the whole thing off for me, man.
Yeah. For me, Fires of Heaven and The Shadow Rising are so neck and neck. I love both these books. They're both right up there in the tops of over all 15. Because I just finished Fires of Heaven, right now I'm going to say Fires of Heaven is my favorite. And then The Shadow Rising. But ask me another day, it'll come out the other direction. You never know. Then my third is actually The Great Hunt. I enjoy The Great Hunt. There's a lot of things going on in there, moving parts, and the ending is fantastic. The beginning is fantastic. And just, okay, I like The Great Hunt. Eye of the World is next for me because it does start it off. There's a lot in there. There's some quirky weirdness at parts too, but I dig it. The Dragon Reborn is the one that's the last of the 5 because there's some real stretches in there I find boring. The ending is awesome, but you gotta survive some of those long stretches, and it's easier now. But the first time through, I'm like, oh, come on already. Can we move on?
I hear you. That's where I was at the first time through. But I truly do think it's something different, which is valuable to make it stand out a little bit.
Fair enough.
Well, it's also as when you reach that one as the third one after going through Eye of the World and The Great Hunt, you're almost ready for something that's a bit different, and you kind of get like this little mini breather in parts of the Dragon Reborn. So
it's true.
Yeah.
Again, we like all the books. We're not disparaging any of these 5. It's just degrees of good book, fun stuff. Awesome.
Yeah, chat. Put your order in the chat there. Just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like
I'm just gonna
book
point in all the
one.
directions. It's somewhere.
Put it in the order. Like, so Eye of the World is book 1, Great Hunt is 2, Dragon Reborn is 3. Like, put yours at like
Yeah,
2,
use the
3,
5.
4, 1, 5, or whatever the order is. Put it in the chat. Tell
We'd
us
love
what
to
your
see it.
order is.
Totally. Well, they're thinking about
for me,
that.
Dragon Reborn and Great Hunt feel like. And yeah, this is a very like high level statement, so don't pull out your torches and pitchforks just yet. But
Where'd
it
you put
feels
the
like-
fire, Dad?
Yeah, right. It feels like the same story in a different direction. It's like we're in Faldara and we're like, oh no, we got to chase the horn. Horn. Big battle. Yay, it's big battle. And Rand's the Dragon Reborn. And you start at the Dragon Reborn and Rand is like, I'm the Dragon Reborn. Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to go do something crazy to prove if I am or not. And then he goes, bye. And they go, oh no, Rand. It's like Scooby-Dooing across the entire world.
There it is. We've got some people's opinions coming in the chat there. So far, Eye of the World's at the bottom for people, but definitely a lot of love being shown for these last 2 books. 4 and 5 are in here.
It is.
Yeah, good stuff. Now,
Fires of Heaven, yes.
again, everybody watching us should know we don't spoil things beyond where we're at. So if you haven't read past the Fires of Heaven, you're safe here. It's okay. But we are going to sometimes reference things beyond that's just with no details. So this is a slight reference that there are books beyond. I simply want to know, when you think of this book, The Fires of Heaven, where does it fall compared to the entire series? Now, of course, I know Andrew's answer already because he led with this, but I'm giving you, is it your favorite, which is Andrew, or is it in at least the top third? Is it in the middle, or is it the bottom third? Where do you put it when you compare it to all the others that some people haven't read yet? And I'll start with this one. It's in the top third. Absolutely. That's for me. Josh, how about you?
Be careful here, Josh. Wrong answer.
My future at the Black Tower is at stake here.
Not to influence you, but compulsion
here. Gosh, you know, I'll give you the same kind of answer. It's definitely in the top like third as far as these books go. There's some real interesting developments happening in Fires of Heaven that I really it's almost like, okay, it's almost like being a foreign exchange student. We've been introduced to the 2 rivers. We've been introduced to Camelin. We've been introduced to, Carrion, a couple of different places by now. And then Robert Jordan goes, oh, hey, now that you know the world's kind of normal, just a little bit different with its little quirks here, we're going to go to the Aiel Waste and we're just going to go. And it just, it turns everything on its head and you just go, oh, these people are crazy. But the more you start to learn about them as the book progresses, and you're like, they're still crazy, but I get it and I like it. I'm into it. And so it's I think it's a real cool sort of transition into just essentially doubling the size of the world that Robert Jordan has built. So that right there gives it like some real contention in the heavyweight classes there.
There you go.
I think you get a lot of like with the IL, just real quick. The same way that people that love history get really kind of borderline obsessive over like the Knight's Code of Chivalry and the Code of Honor amongst I think it's called the Bushido Code. Vance, the Bard of the Red Hand, can correct me for sure. Amongst the samurai of Japan, these honor-bound societies seem to like attract a very almost primitive part of our mind, but occupy so much of intellectual thought when we get focused on it. And I think that's probably why the IL are so amazing to us. To look at them like they're so weird, but I love them.
Absolutely. Zach, where do you put this one?
it probably ends up in the top third, but barely. I have some justifications. And it's where it's like, I don't know if it's the bottom of the top third or the
Zach's
top
like, I brought
of the second
receipts.
third. Um,
I'm
the
hearing it's either 5 or
biggest-
6. Okay, all right.
The first thing is that it's almost not fair to this book. It has some fun things in and of itself and some fun developments, but a lot of the things that either start here or develop here, we get better payoffs for in different books. And to a certain extent, just by being an earlier book, it loses out on the ability to have
Yes.
quite as good of payoffs. And so it's a little unfair to judge it based on that. So instead, my reasoning of putting it where it is the fact that I really loved where Perrin's storyline went in The Shadow Rising, and then he's not in this book.
No Perrin! No Perrin! Yeah.
Fair.
One of my more enjoyable aspects of the
Now we know why it's
That's why I
fun.
liked it.
Right
I
there.
love Perrin, but after 4 books of Perrin, I welcomed a break from book 4.
Well, I think I really like what you're going with on sort of foundation building and prep on some later story. I mean, we get the first whisperings of a thing that happens 4 books later,
Mhm.
right? And I'm not going to go into it in too much
There's
detail.
so
but
much foreshadowing in this book.
you start to go back. This is one of those books. This is one of the books that when you go back through your reread, you go, oh my God.
Yes.
They started talking about it back then.
Mhm.
And I think this is why this is one of the better books, because you've just come off of this huge sort of story arc in book 4, and now you're in a new place and you're building into something new. And Robert Jordan's almost reestablishing the stories, building the story from a new point, a new perspective.
Sure.
And so you get a lot of interesting developments.
Well,
Yeah, I
he
wouldn't have put
started-
this in my top third the first time I read the series. It only jumps up that high on
Yes.
the reread. Absolutely. Andrew,
It's
go
interesting
ahead.
too, because Robert Jordan, whenever he started writing Wheel of Time, after Eye of the World was accepted and did really well, and he was like, okay, yeah, we're going to continue the story. His initial vision was it would only be a 6-book series. And as you go through the books and you get to the different points where you get to book 6, and you'll see that coming up, that there's some things pay off, and it almost looks like for like this book that there is that buildup for a lot of different things to happen, and you don't know. They could be resolved by the end of the book. Whenever you start reading it, they could be resolved at very early on in the next book. But now that like you have the advantage now of knowing that the entire series goes for 14 books, which even goes beyond whenever Robert Jordan doubled the length of the books, because initially he was going to go, we'll go with 12. And then whenever Brandon Sanderson came in to finish it off, they're like, there's no way, we gotta split the end into 2 books. But you can see it. But like talking about like callbacks, like it's one of the things I love the most about the Wheel of Time is there's a thing that happens in book 9 that after you read it and it happens, if you don't remember it, go back and read book 1, because the instruction manual for it to happen is in book 1.
Mhm.
And it's awesome. So I
you
love the
mentioned
callbacks.
you mentioned that early on it was going to be a 6-book series, but in this book, when we're reading it, well, I'm one of the comments from chat, which really builds this up. Says this is the real start of Matt's greatness here. By the time he's writing book 5, he already knows we're not stopping at 6. It was gonna be, and then there was just such success that he was able to, yes, Mr. Jordan, we'll keep writing you checks. Please keep writing. Yes.
Well, and there's even been interviews with, I think, Maria, and she's been like, yeah, he thought he was going to do a 3-book series, and he thought he was going to do a 6-book series, and then they were like maybe 7 or 8, and by the time he passed, and he said, "Oh yeah, there's just one book left," and
Yeah.
I got the sense from Maria that she and Alan and Harriet just kind of went, "Sure, one book left. Like, we're gonna
Right.
take notes. We're gonna do as best we can to get everything here." But and, and then of course they call in Brandon, and Brandon goes, "There's no way I'm getting this into one book. There's no way."
Love, like, could you imagine? Like, he comes over to talk with Harriet and Alan and Maria, and they start talking about it. They get the nuts and bolts down. Whatever NDA that may be required is signed and done.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Cool, I'm ready to look at the notes." And when he's talking to even Robert Jordan at the time, he's like, "All right, I'm ready to see the notes." And I just picture like this quintessential movie scene where everybody's got hand trucks rolling in boxes of notes, and there's like 30 boxes of notes, and he's like, one book, human-sized book, one
What
book
did
that
I
you
just
just
sign up
carry
for?
around. Like,
A
It's
part
the
of me
Ogier book of
wishes-
translation. That's what
I
we
kind
want.
of almost wish that we got it in one book, just so that I could have like a 3,000-4,000 page book sitting on my shelf.
Wow.
Massive fantasy
Wow.
tome. It's got to be like 10 pounds.
Well,
when I'm not reading Memory of Light, I'm using Memory of Light to up my benching game. You're just bench pressing it.
Mhm.
I always giggle too, though, because when Brandon Sanderson was announced to finish the series, and he said, "Yeah, we're doing this in 3 books," and so many people took to the forums and, "Oh, this is a cash grab. This is bullshit. I can't believe Robert Jordan said 1 book," and so it makes me giggle when I hear people looking at the TV show and going, "Robert Jordan's rolling over in his grave right now," and I'm like, you dum-dum said the same exact thing when Brandon came in and said, "Guys, I can't do this in 1 book. In order to do this story justice, in order to do this series a true justice, it needs to be 3 books."
Yeah. The Hobbit movie trilogy. That's called a cash grab. These books, not a cash grab. Yeah.
It hurts that you're
Well,
right.
Thank you.
I mean, RJ is rolling, but he's rolling with laughter at all the people that are so angry about an adaptation.
Right? Yeah.
Right?
It's almost like
All
it's
right.
in the word adaptation. Anyway,
So this book,
Hey.
again, the awesomeness that is contained within the Fires of Heaven. I mean, let's think about the scope of this again. It picks up the story of the Wheel of Time in the aftermath of Rand's ascension to the position of Karakarn of the Aiel. Of course, that being a somewhat divisive thing, which caused Rand to have to, that punk Cooladin stepping up. He had to reveal the Aiel's true history. So
That's not cool it in.
we've got the ramifications there.
The
See what you did there.
randifications.
That's not cool. Yeah, nice. It also follows on Rand's gift from Lanfear of Asmodean, his own captive pet Forsaken, who is now tasked with training Rand in the use of the One Power. This book also is revealing the aftermath of the split at the White Tower, the coup, shall we say, with Elida, now the Amerlin, and already having things start to go south. I mean, we see in the prologue her meeting with Pat and Fane. Yeah, this is going to be good. Yeah, no problems. And then we also get to travel on with Elaine and Nynaeve, Tom and Julian, as they've departed Terabon on a simple mission to return to the White Tower with what they've found. A mission that, of course, goes quite off the rails over the course of the book. And then let's throw in that this book begins with Queen Morghese, in thrall to Lord Gabriel. Readers already by this point know that's the Forsaken Ravine. There's just
Lord
so freaking
Gabriel.
much that happens in this book. And that's before we get to the epic 2-part conclusion. One at the docks of Kyrian, the other happening in the palace in Camelin. I mean, criminy, so much packed into one book. So my question for you now, and no one needs one answer, you can have multiple answers, but I want to hear some of your particular favorite moments of this book. Nobody give us more than one at a time, but feel free to talk multiple times. Go ahead, Josh.
I have one that always stands out to me. And that is, wait, hold on. I'm going to make sure it's in this one, right?
See, that's why I did the synopsis. Trying to help.
You did. No, you did. But here's the thing: is I still like these things still kind of
Mhm,
blend
mhm.
into. I'm gonna put it in the private chat real quick.
While he's processing, Zach, you got one you want to throw at us?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw my first in. Brigida being shunted into our world.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Oh, perfect.
That's a good one. And yeah, Josh, feel free to proceed with yours because you
Okay.
that's here. That's
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure. But real quick with Brigida though, like that was a great one because there was some quick thinking that preserved Brigida because she was fading fast and they didn't know if she was going to die.
Well, she
What was gonna
broke the
happen?
rules.
So
Yeah.
I was catching up on the show tonight. I was watching it with Rach in the other room, and she looks at me and goes, "Are there ever any female warders?" And my brain's just immediately going to this whole situation. I'm like,
Maybe.
if she wants to know, can I explain? Is there a way to explain this simply? Maybe.
I would just say it's not forbidden. It's not
And-
forbidden.
And without
It only
going
happened
into too much
because
detail,
something that was forbidden was done. So, at least
It-
in the books.
and it
Right.
does happen more than once in the books.
You right?
Perhaps.
Maybe Raffo.
That's right.
Perhaps.
Andrew, what's one for you?
Oh, this is easy. This is the best one. Chapter
Yeah.
31, The Far Snows. We get the sex igloo.
Steamy
That is-
igloo, baby.
That is my
Igloo,
favorite scene.
Baby,
And not
igloo.
it's one of those things like when I say this is like one of my favorite scenes from the book, I always have to add in it's not because of what seems to be the obvious testosterone driven rationale that you might
Well,
would
good,
expect.
because RJ's not great at writing sex.
That's
No.
true. He definitely fades to black on all of it, which is fine. I don't necessarily want to read those scenes. But from the moment that Rand met Aviendha, and there was this whole like Aviendha is now assigned to you to teach you the ways of the Aiel and everything, there was just always a tension, especially there was always a tension. We find out later why, especially on Aviendha's part, but it just keeps growing and growing and growing, and I just love how it comes in a moment where Aviendha is like, after she's spent every line of every book resisting everything about Wetlander culture while trying to get somebody else to accept everything about her culture, the moment she does it, Rand steps in, sees her, potentially wasting water, as the Aiel would look at it, panics, and does something that is an incredible feat of magic that 99.9% of channelers haven't done in 3,000 years, presumably. And it ultimately culminates into her being the blue curacao to Jem's frozen concoction, running off, breaking through, getting saved, and saying, you know what? Finally, I can resist no longer. You saved my life. You built this fancy igloo, and we're already naked, so it would be kind of rude not to.
Now let's bring the fire.
It'd be kind of rude not to.
Rand was the candle. That's why he has the red hair.
All right,
pretty
all right. That's good. That's good. All right, Josh, talk about the one you were thinking about before now.
Okay, I love Morgaze escaping from Robin, from Lord Gabriel. To me, that delves extremely well into some emotional patterns that a lot of people face when they're trying to get out of an abusive relationship, when they're trying to get away from these kinds of things. And just the whole commentary of Morgaze, first off, having the willpower to just raw break out of compulsion, because she was 100% deep.
Totally.
It wasn't
Yep.
that like
Yep.
compulsion light where they were just getting her to do what she would have done anyway kind of a thing, but changing it a little bit. No, it was straight up 100%. Robin had her under complete and total compulsion. And Morghese is a strong enough woman that unaided by any means with the power, she was able to say, I need to leave. I need to get out of here. She gathered up several people. She gathered up some supplies. And the whole time she's doing it, she's got this thought in her head of, oh my gosh, he's going to be so upset with me. He's going to be so angry. He's going to be so hurt. He's going to be so heartbroken. And she knows she has
so
to
good
do
to
it.
me.
He's so good. He's so good to me. The way he treats all my enemies so nicely. And it's just, it's a real powerful sort of segment of story.
Sure.
And really plays into the strength of her character. And I love it. I absolutely love it.
There you go. One of my favorite scenes is something that I didn't realize the significance quite how good it was the first time. I mean, it was cool, but on rereads, subsequent rereads, I've appreciated it so much more. And that's when Rand basically manipulates Matt into revealing this military geniusness that's in his head now that Matt has refused to accept.
Yes.
And uses Lan for that, and just kind of casual comments. And Matt lays out the whole battle plan as he would do it, which is almost spot on with what the clan chiefs have developed, these people who fight their entire lives. So it's brilliant. And then Matt at the end totally trying to backpedal, like, just something.
I mean,
look,
whatever.
It's not
It's cool.
But, Rand coming up later on going, I kind of missed the first time. He totally set that up.
Mm-hmm.
And so smooth. But also so much showing Rand already is going to use whoever he has to use. He's already going down that path. So
that's true.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, who's got another one?
I love the amount of times in this book Matt is either saved or undeaded by balefire. Because, sure, it only happens twice. But it's weird that it happened twice, right?
If I had a nickel for every time Matt was saved by Bellfire. I'd only have 2 nickels, but it's weird that it
happened twice.
No, it is good. I love how Rand notices the first one. He's like, paw prints in stone. How odd. Oh no, I remember Moraine mentioning that was Darkhoundery. So good. And it was
that's good.
I love how they sneak little bits of lore in there like that.
They do.
You get a little bit of information about Darkhounds here, and you get a little bit about information about Darkhounds there. And it just builds the world so great. Yep. Yeah, no, that's great.
I know it's all the way at the end, but Asmodean getting taken out for the second time, actually, in just a few minutes. But the permanent, right there at the end, that just
it's you.
No,
a nice little
what a way to
there.
Leave that at the end. And I was reading this book when it came out. So then you're like, what? And there's nothing more. And then we won't talk about the next book. But that was great. Yeah. I love seeing that. It was fun.
And it kicked off one of the greatest fandom mysteries as well.
Oh yeah. Bumper stickers.
You could always identify a Wheel of Time fan in the wild because we all had bumper stickers that said, "Who killed Asmodean?"
That's right. And of course, we will not reveal any answers here because that's to come.
We will say what Robert Jordan said when asked this question before the series had completed, and he looked at everybody and said, "I would think the answer would be obvious."
Yeah, it's all right there.
And that was it. That was the answer he gave.
Yeah, I liked. This is probably my favorite Matt moment, and it definitely set the stage for Matt's life in perpetuity. When he's trying to just get the hell away from Kyrian.
I was going to go. This was my next one.
He's like, I'm going to go this way. Oh, no, a group of people that really need my help. I'm too good of a guy to just say no. Let me help. Okay, now they're all following me. Fine. The danger's here. We're going to go in the opposite direction and get away. We'll be fine. Oh, no, another group of people. Now I have soldiers. Okay, let's do this. And it just happens over and over and over again
And-
until by the end of the battle, he has his own hodgepodge from grassroots built up army, small army behind him. And he's just sitting there looking back, doing all this in his head, how he doesn't want anybody to see him, and he just goes, fuck.
And then it culminates with he has done everything he can to get away, and he freaking kills Couladin. I mean, seriously?
Off page.
Page!
Couladin has been a thorn in the side for a
Yeah.
book and a half.
It's just...
He just kills him off
I
page.
love that. Don't give him any credit. Don't
That's
give him
right.
more than he deserves.
You're not worthy for
Let
the
him
page.
go out like a bitch. Come on.
It was
That's-
like Robert
that's
Gordon
this.
created Couladin and then immediately tried to show Couladin how not cool he actually was. You don't even get to die on screen.
It's great.
It's so. Is it Talmanes he meets with at this point in time?
Yeah, he meets him there in this.
Where he's got like he runs across a column of soldiers. They're like, we're gonna go looking for glory. We're going to defeat the Shido or the Aiel. Ha! And he's like, yeah, no. There's an ambush waiting for you right there. We're gonna go this way. Yes, follow Lord Matt. We are going to win the glory. And it's like he ends up avoiding like 12 battles, engaging in 2. Winning both of them because he only engages in them because he knows he can win them. And everybody's like, General Lord Matt, he's the greatest ever. And he's like, oh, you guys have no clue.
Is there a part where like he crests the hill and he's looking down and he sees that like friendly forces to Rand
Yes.
are about to get absolutely blindsided by a flanking attack?
That's
And
really
he
how it
just goes,
starts.
all right, let's go.
That could sum Matt up like as a character entirely.
The sheer
Okay,
exasperation
cool. I'm gonna
of
go
fighting
this
the
way
beginning.
and
Just let him sigh. Just let him sigh.
There's even
really
one point.
Right.
There's one point specifically in there where he goes taking off. He's gonna ditch these guys. He's
Yes.
leaving, and they go following, and he ends up running into more, bad guys
More
this time.
soldiers who-
And they're like, "Look, he's leading us into him. He's so brave. We're here, Lord Matt."
But hey, it works.
He's so good.
It's the Stone of Tear all over again, just dialed up in epicness.
All right,
Like-
I want to move us on to something else here because we could talk all night on this particular topic. But Zach, I do want to give you one more chance. Do you have something else? Because we said more than you did.
No,
So,
I said.
do you have one more?
I said my 2.
Okay, fair. Well, I didn't hold you to a quota of 2, but that's okay. All right. We're gonna move in next to a game. I have a little game to play. Now, this is not that hard or complicated a game. It's
Good.
called Who's Missing? Okay, and so I have taken the cover art from all 15 books, using the classic covers by Daryl K. Sweet, and then
Sweet.
the last one done by Michael Whalen. And I've got them up here with someone or something pulled out. And I'm going to
Okay.
put it up and blurt out the answer. And whoever gets it first wins. And you get absolutely no points or prizes.
I'm
But
glad there's no points or prizes.
let's just have fun with it. Okay.
Whose line is it anyway?
Right.
All right. So
All right,
I'm
here we
going to put this first one up. And as soon as it pops up, feel free to blurt out the answer. And we'll go until someone gets the right answer.
Oh no.
Or you all get the right answer. Chat, feel free to type in the right answer and beat them, especially if they're stumped. All right, here comes the first one. And I am going in order. So from the eye of the
Moraine.
world.
No. That's
Nicolas Cage.
Rand.
That's
It is
Baron.
Nicolas Cage. That is
Yes!
correct.
Okay, the correct answer is Randall Thor, but also acceptable is Nicolas Cage. I have that written down. So yes, sir. Nicolas
Yes.
Cage
I
wins
would
this
be
one.
happy to share that point. I am happy to share that point.
I mean, look at it. It's Nicolas Cage right there.
Moraine, we're gonna go steal the Declaration of Independence.
I'm gonna steal Kalendor from the Stone of Tear.
Oh goodness. We've got Leia's playing this game hard, guessing every person she can think of. She got it eventually. That was
No,
great.
play
Leia.
in easy mode. You just say everyone who could possibly be on the show before it shows up.
You'll get it. You'll get it.
Okay, here's the next one. from the Great Hunt. Who's
Oh,
missing?
it's a Trolloc in the back there.
It is. There it is.
Oh,
there is a
snap!
random Trolloc missing.
Well done,
Also,
sir.
also acceptable would have been Larg, brother of Narg. Okay.
Fair enough,
Moving
fair enough.
on. From the Dragon Reborn, who is missing?
Perrin.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding.
Barely beat
ding. Perrin. Also acceptable would have been young Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Or a rugged blue jeans model. Any of those would have been taken here.
I think those are
The
Levi's,
rugged
actually.
80s
I really
80s
do.
blue jeans model because headband. He's a
Let's
maniac.
try.
Maniac.
These
No,
covers really
Shadow.
just said, we are publicizing the fact that we did not read a single sentence. in this book."
This is true. This is true. 100%. The Shadow Rising, who's missing?
Oh, it is. Wait,
That's
is
not
that?
who I think it is.
It's the Tinker Woman, but
Okay, so we got some options.
Miscellaneous campfire attender number 3.
If it's at a wagon here. In
Now,
here.
keep in mind, often these images weren't precise scenes.
Are we assuming
So-
it's a main character of it being
That's
like
Celine, is it?
Egwene? Or Moraine?
I've always interpreted this as Moraine. Because this is at the point where she's doing, whatever she can.
you
Already?
must submit to
I
Sidar.
Disagree, because if I remember correctly, it's not until book 5 that she actually makes the real deal with Rand, right? Of like, yeah, no, I'm going to do what you say. I will follow your way.
I think it starts sooner than that.
That being said, I totally do think blue dress, it's supposed to be Moraine. It also makes no sense with
Yeah, I don't think she ever sat there actually, oh, can I get your tea for you, sir?
not unless she's
No.
eavesdropping.
All right. Fires of Heaven, who's missing?
Avienda.
Ding, 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 ding.
There it
Nailed
is.
it. One.
Yeah, from the clear red head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Andrew
Also
is
missing
the
somewhere
Avienda
off screen
stand.
Asmodean.
Yeah, somebody had to stand behind the block of concrete, I guess,
no.
Yeah, that's he's behind the
Asmodean
block.
is right-
That's who Matt is
is right
looking at,
there.
actually.
That's right. There you go. All right. All right, we're going to do one more for now. Then we're going to talk about a couple other things, then we'll come back to finish the game. But here's one more. Who is missing from this scene from the Lord of Chaos?
The Drakkar.
The Torokan.
Yes, the Drakkar. Also would have accepted Sir not making the Shadow Spawn cut for the TV show.
Yeah. At least not
Oh,
yet.
I gotta look closer. Okay, yeah, no, okay, I agree.
I agree.
Maybe next
I
time.
see Leatherly flying thing, and I assume it's some
Yes.
form of rocking,
There we go.
rather than
There we
everybody
go.
else that assumes it's something else.
Well, you know what they say: if the Shanchan is a rockin', don't come a knockin'.
It's okay. I always mistakenly pictured Drakkar as like giant mosquitoes, and I know that's false. But I
But
just
they
always
do
saw
have the
massive
proboscis
proboscis,
thing. Yeah,
large,
yeah.
puffy lips at the end.
Do you
It's the
know?
whole thing.
And
Do you
all I
remember-
could think of when you said that was the Family Guy skit with they're in Africa and like they take away the mosquito nets, and then like another version of Herbert comes through and he's like buzz buzz buzz, because like mosquitoes carry off the kids.
I
You're welcome.
I-
You're welcome for that.
I always pictured. Remember, I think it was Gremlins 2 or 3, where all the different Gremlins evolved into like different personalities, and there was the lady Gremlin with the big giant
Oh, huge
puffy
lips.
lips.
Oh yeah.
I always pictured the
She's so
Drakkar
loving.
as the lovely lady Gremlin with wings.
I can see
Like
that.
that would.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Why did they ever make a sequel for that movie?
They never should have. The first is classic and awesome, but we did not need more.
Because they didn't.
I believe
sell
we
enough
talked
and
about
kids
Money
weren't
Grab
terrified of
earlier.
Furbies
Did we
enough.
not?
That,
Hmm.
yeah, that was a trope in the 80s though, man. Hey, they really like this movie. Let's make 8 more.
I
And
don't think it's ever
sometimes it
stopped
worked,
being a trope.
Often
I
it did not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It never
Touche.
stopped. Now it's just called the Fast and Furious effect.
Or they
Those
often
do
call it a
continue to be
cinematic
fairly
universe.
awesome, however. What else can they
Oh,
do
no.
with a car? Oh my goodness.
They're gonna have to like hijack Elon Musk's Tesla in space and do something. Like
You got a
Yeah.
super stealth mission. Okay.
this time, we're taking the family green.
Never thought I'd say this, but it's time to
But
hang up
hey,
the V8
you want a car
forever.
that goes from 0 to 60 like that? It's a freaking Tesla, man. Those things, they'll give you
Go to
whiplash.
YouTube and look at Tesla drag races.
It's
They
really
will
Man.
fun
zoop,
seeing
they just
Teslas
take off.
versus
My brother owns
supercars.
one. I got to use it
Mhm.
for a weekend. And I had whiplash. I mean, literally, my neck was sore for days afterwards because it accelerates so fast, and you're not used to that.
It's true. You don't have to
Some-
wait on the combustion power. so.
Yeah,
Right.
some myself would call that user error.
Shut up! Shut up!
Do you like me? Do you drive and normally not?
I
Put
mean,
your
you're
head
not
on the
wrong,
headrest?
but shut up. Okay, back to the fires of heaven. I want to ask you an interesting question here, and there's only one answer you can give, so you got to think about this
Oh, no.
carefully. I'm not saying there's only one right answer because that's
Oh,
not true
okay.
at all. But which character would you want to be if you could be in this book? If you could have played out the role of one of these, which one would you want to be?
Oh, okay. I know who I would pick, and it's going to get me in trouble because the girlfriend's watching this stream right now.
All right, Andrew.
I would pick Rand.
Yeah.
You're back
you
to the
would.
igloo again, aren't you?
No, that's not going to be the reason. And if that was the reason, then of course I would picture my girlfriend in the role of Avienda, of course.
Well,
Oh,
I
yes.
did not put
Oh,
any
yes.
such limitations on you, so you do
Yeah.
that. Absolutely.
Okay, so we'll include the igloo as a reason as long as we can transpose the girlfriend there. I'm sure my phone is going to go off any second now.
Beautiful.
I was about to say,
Beautiful.
wow, she really is watching.
But I mean,
Josh? Oh, go ahead, Andrew. Still keep talking.
I was gonna say because like he gets to do like so much of the cool stuff. I mean, you get the Balefire twice in one book. That's awesome. That doesn't happen a lot in the books we've seen so far. I don't think it happens. Oh yeah, other than Moraine Balefiring Dark Hounds earlier, we don't even
She did
really
Dark
see.
Hounds and a Forsaken.
Yeah, she
in
took out
That's
Bilal
true.
with
That's true.
Balefire. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
She does
So
it
we've
twice
seen
in
it,
one book.
twice before. So he gets to do that.
Now he
you get to
does
go all
almost
over the
die
place.
too.
I mean-
That whole experience at the Battle of Kyrian wasn't super pleasant for Rand.
Yeah, that's true. But he's in charge, and
Don't
You know?
ask Sulin if that's true.
Yeah,
Even
Yeah,
the
but-
Karakarn is not a king.
not a
it's
wetland.
true. But he's got the fancy title.
There you go. Josh, you got one? Are you ready?
For me, honestly, it's a toss-up between Asmodean and Ruark. Because first off, I love the idea of Asmodean just being there like, oh yes, I will teach you to use Sidene. Here's my little harp, and oh you seem very broody. I'm going to play a very emo
I'm going to
tune.
play "Welcome to the Black Parade."
He totally
by My
rocks
Chemical
that
Romance.
so often.
Rand is feeling very moody today. When I was a young boy, my father, and then Rand is
That's
like,
it.
stop that.
He is Gerald Way for the Third Age. He absolutely is.
There's
Those who don't know,
something
that's the
really
lead singer of
nice
My Chemical Romance.
about a Forsaken pulling out the Black Parade. It worked.
Oh,
But Asmodean also has a pretty cool scene. So to go to the igloo scene, Avienda opens up a gateway, runs out of instinct and pure embarrassment. Rand goes, throws a weave onto her weave to preserve the gateway and chases her. They end up doing their thing. When they come back, Asmodean is there. And he's like, yeah, I inverted the weaves so that nobody else could sense them, because anybody like within 100 miles could probably sense this.
Yep.
And I didn't even know you could do this. This is amazing. And it's just kind of scary that one of the Forsaken at the Age of Legends is going, how the hell did you do that?
That's probably
And
also the
I would
reason why
like
the
to be
people with
that
the
guy who knows everything, and then
Mm.
all of a sudden is like, whoa.
it's probably
that's
also
a
the
big
reason why the
story
people
point.
with the pointy stick showed up as they were leaving.
Right?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They sense this power. Okay. Now, you said Asmodean or Ruark?
Or
You said?
Ruark. Just and mostly because when I think of Ruark and the other clan chiefs,
Did you miss
I
the
think
part
of,
where
like,
Jim said you only get one answer?
yeah, I don't follow rules good.
Doesn't follow him well either.
All right, Birgitta.
Rules.
All right.
But I always like the idea of all the clan chiefs sitting back because it always like makes me think of like a Legionnaires club or like a veteran, veteran association like bar.
Ruark at the
They're all
local
like
VFW.
playing pool, drinking beers. Hey, remember that raid we did against? Oh yeah, that was great. Good. Hey man, you killed my brother at that one. Well, hey man, if he wouldn't have dropped his spears, like I don't know, it just
Nice. Zach, what about you?
I have an either underwhelming or controversial answer. It could go either way. If I had to pick one person from this book who appears in this book, it'd be Davram Bashir.
nice
Because I get to ignore most of the things safely. I'm not involved in most of the bullshit that happens.
That's true.
And then in the end, I just get to walk in and suddenly be important. So it's pretty a cushy gig in this book.
Not
hard to argue
not
that
Daddy
logic.
Davram.
It is hard.
Daddy
to argue that.
Davram, baby.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's Matt. I'd want to be Matt. He has the most fun of any. Now, he doesn't always see it as fun, but come on, he's living the dream in this thing. He is just walking into everything just perfectly without even trying.
Yeah, especially when his lover tries to kill him.
Even that works out in the end for him.
No,
You can't let the
And
flame
I'm thinking,
die out. Gotta keep
between
spice
the
going.
beginning and how it ends, there were some pretty good times. So, yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, Matt
right.
would have been my second choice.
Also,
Village
we
Mattress.
also
That's
are
worthy of
talking
putting
about
up because
how
he's so right. See, Matt is
Matt
always the
had
right
it
answer.
work out when he died.
He came back.
He doesn't
Yeah,
remember
it's
it. I
fine.
know it's fine.
I got
It
better.
was just a flesh wound.
It's not a good
She
thing.
turned me into a
I got
newt.
better.
I got better. Only mostly dead. Okay. One more question, and then we're going back to the game. This question is, I said there's a ton of foreshadowing in this book. Which little bit of foreshadowing is your favorite? Or you consider is the best of the foreshadowing? Again, we're not going to tell why, but I want to hear what you like. And Zach's like, ooh, me,
I'm
me,
chomping
pick
at the
me.
bit
Okay,
here.
Zach.
It's heavy-handed, but like Rand at the end of the book goes, "Hey, we're making an amnesty for channelers. Men can channel, and
Yes.
they're allowed to. And if anyone has a problem with that, come talk to me."
Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome.
So perfect. That's a great
I forgot
one.
who it is, but isn't there a part where the Shido have been kind of routed from Kyrian, and Rand makes a decision, no, we're not going to continue after them, and one of the other IL chiefs says, you're going to regret that. Yeah, that's mine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with that one.
I'm sure it'll be
Mainly
fine.
because it's like one of like three that I can remember. But
I'm going to pick one that is my favorite scene in the entire series. That is not first referred to here, but is secondly referred to here. And that is Lanfear talking to Rand, and they're going through all the little Tirangrials. And she holds up this one with a statue of a man and a woman. And she goes, with these, we could challenge the creator himself. And Rand is like, those seem very powerful. I will take them from you now. but there's some okay.
it's a good one.
Yeah.
What about you, Jim?
Man, there's There's so many good ones. And I had one key one waiting and ready, and then I'm listening to all of you. And now what was I gonna say?
I mean, if you can't come up with it, I can say
I definitely
one
wanna
while
know
we
about that.
wait. Like,
No, Zach, because you might steal the one that I wanted to say.
Fires of heaven that you're drinking right now. It's got your brain up. It's got your brain in heaven.
Burning me up, burning me up. Oh,
It's always
it was
dangerous when
really
something
good.
breaks through the icy layer. Never know what comes after.
Facts.
Wow. So, what was it? Which one was it? All right, Zach, tell your other one. I got to think of what this was again.
Elaine tinkering around and going, this Adam. You know, I think I could make one of these.
Yes.
It was a good moment. I don't know if it was foreshadowing or not, but it was
Not
a good moment.
necessarily for
we don't know. We don't know
things, but certain things. I mean, there's just like little bits where it's like, this could go somewhere. It's a throwaway line.
It's kind of cool that
This
she
could
can
go
make
somewhere.
stuff.
Kate will remember that in the future.
Telltale Games, just like file it away.
Yes. Yes.
Kate did not like that decision.
I mean,
It's
You know,
really bothering you.
yeah. I'm not going to remember the one I was going to say, but I'm just going to go with a different one then. That's awesomeness. And it kind of goes back to what I said earlier with Matt, you know, and how he's clearly got all these battle plans in his mind and he's a military genius now. And Rand is going to use that. Yeah. That could be foreshadowing. That could be important later. Yeah. He's pretty brilliant.
could. Agreed.
All right. It's not as good as the one I was going to say, but oh well, crap, it's there. It's gone.
You'll think of it later, and then
I
you'll be
will
like,
as soon as we log off. Yeah, there it is. All right, let's get back to the rest of this game then. So I'm putting up an image from the Crown of Swords.
The Crown of Swords.
And who is missing from this picture?
The Crown.
Rand.
Oh, it's not Rand.
What was the first thing someone said?
Randy is
Someone said Rand.
And Andrew said Rand.
Yeah,
But Zach
it's
said
Rand.
something else.
I said we were missing the crown. The Crown of Swords. The title's not there. It's just
He is the Crown of Swords.
Yeah.
Look at that.
We're missing the
Look at his
title. The
biceps.
title.
Now I have to admit, okay, this is another one where I would accept Rand, but I would have also accepted Royd Rand clearly, and I'll have what he's eating, Rand.
I mean,
you know,
he's also
this guy.
How many
He's also
triceps
kind of
does he have?
postured like a centaur without the back half.
It's amazing.
I just realized that.
Buff.
Doesn't
Oh,
he
yeah,
also
yeah.
have,
Those
like,
calves
legs, they sit
Look
kind
at
of
where
weird.
his calves are in
100%.
relation to where like his stomach and chest
Yeah,
are.
yeah. No,
way
totally.
he's
He's rocking the
standing, he's
centaur thing.
going to fall off that cliff.
Or a fawn.
That's Cat
Center of
crosses the
gravity is
courtyard.
all off.
No,
That
doesn't
explains why
doesn't
that-
he bear a resemblance to Rutger Hauer in this picture?
Oh, I don't know
I'm
about
gonna show my
that.
age. Probably who?
I
He's
don't
got
know.
Arnold Schwarzenegger arms, though. I mean,
All I know is he's got
Rutger
more
Hauer-
muscles defined than I knew I had.
it's not a good picture.
That is, and it's his right arm too, and he is right-handed. So this is after Fires of Heaven, so he might have some memories.
Foreshadowing. I get it.
Oh, we're back to what happens in the dark when we're crying again. aren't we? Okay, next from Winter's Heart.
The Dragon
okay.
Banner
The
and
Dragon
the
Banner
Banner
and
of the
Ancient
Aes
Sedai.
Sedai.
Okay, now which is which?
Dragon is on the right.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So
Damn.
well done. Well done. You guys got that.
I don't deserve that. That was a blatant guess.
Hey, you're still right. Whether
Pretty
you
good
get
guess
right
for
by an
Bears.
inch or a
50-50.
mile. A win is a win.
right, how How about this one?
Winning
What's
is
missing?
Go.
Gall.
Yes.
I hope so.
Gaul.
Yeah, this one's also valid for the TV show.
Yeah, who's
Well,
missing?
I also
Oh,
would have accepted because of the TV show. I also would have accepted Avienda, previously known as Gaul. Totally. Yeah.
Messed
So
up.
far, they just
That's
have a
messed
thing
up.
about putting the Aiel in cages.
dead or alive.
Oh,
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All like dead or alive. All I can think about is the TV show Psych, when Gus is like laying his pickup line. You heard about Pluto? It's messed up, right? Like now that's what I'm gonna do with Gaul. You heard about Gaul? It's messed up, right?
All I can think
That's
about is
good.
the fact that Perrin is a hobbit in this picture.
Yeah.
He is
His parents
so
supposed to be a
short.
big man, but Gaul would have been big too. He's Aiel.
No,
Actually,
Compare him to the horses.
Well, okay, the
Yeah.
horses are like jag horses from Malazan. I mean, they're massive. They're huge.
Clydesdales.
Next.
Oh,
Crap.
mayonnaise.
With where this is,
Who rode the white horse in Revelations?
It's
Pestilence?
not Talmanes.
hold on, I have to keep track of which book we're on now.
This
Yeah,
is
I think I did it. I got him.
Crossroads of
Crossroads of Twilight.
Yes, this is
Mm.
Crossroads of Twilight.
I should get bonus points for that. Just saying.
Bonus
and
points for
Elaine
you,
or
Josh.
Nynaeve
Absolutely.
at this point.
No, this is Tom Merrill.
Tom.
Son of a
I would
bitch.
also accepted the OG Tom Maryland here. 'cause,
The
you know,
OG.
yeah.
True.
Okay. Let's squeeze that prequel novel in. What's missing?
Moraine's staff, just like from the TV show.
I was about to say that she threw away in book one.
Her staff.
Yeah.
I also would have accepted Moraine's disappearing staff, or Gandalf called and wants his staff back. Any of
That's
that
a fair
would have been
fucking
taken.
point. I don't remember her ever actually referencing it after book one.
No,
it's just in the
like-
eye,
like-
it's in the eye of the
I
world.
swear,
Yeah.
no, Jordan changed his mind. That was it. The
Yeah.
staff was stupid, and he just pretended it wasn't there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but see, like the way Moraine is positioned, it's almost exactly like she was almost copy and pasted from book one's cover. So they're like, I've already drawn this character. I'll just do it again. Surely nothing significant has changed.
Well, it's stupid because in the TV show she's tall. And
You know,
she's
that's
not
fair.
short in the
Look
We don't have to
carefully
care about
at the
character
staff.
development.
I'm gonna jump back to the Eye of the World.
Uh-huh.
It's the same staff.
Yeah.
There it is.
Mhm.
They turned it around the other direction.
Oh, okay. So then this one, in the newer one, she's no longer riding side saddle.
Well, because in that one she didn't have skirts divided for riding.
But she had been on like a big journey riding around. Why not? That's weird.
They
know.
burnt in the fire.
Yeah,
Okay,
that.
that makes sense.
Now she's wearing
Makes sense.
looks like she's wearing a very charming pantsuit.
Which, you
She
know,
must have
it was
borrowed
20
one from
years
Hillary.
earlier, so it was definitely more progressive.
20 years earlier.
It's-
Okay.
it's-
I don't understand.
She borrowed one of Hillary's. That's what this is.
All right, moving on to Knife of Dreams.
Ancient relic from
Who's
another
missing?
turning.
Bear,
Bear Lane.
I want it to be Bear Lane, but I don't
is it Bear
know
Lane?
that it
I don't think it
is.
is.
It's not Fail.
I'm gonna go crazy route. Is it Min?
No, shockingly, it's Davram Bashir.
Oh.
Daddy Davram.
I
Yo.
also would have accepted Davram. I feel confident in this corset. Bashir.
Yeah, from the
That's
outline.
Daddy
Again, look
Davram
at it.
with a
Daddy
dumpy.
Bashir's got a dumpy.
Yeah. That's what threw me off. It was the dumpy.
Lot in the caboose.
Daddy
Yeah.
Davram with the dumpy.
It looks like one of those like Victorian like dress bottoms with like the iron bodice.
Rachel just came in to look at me, going, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Davram double cheeked up Bashir. Holy shit.
Davram double.
Okay, next from the Gathering Storm.
Avienda.
Should be.
Yes, it's simple, it's sweet, it's Avienda.
That's one that if I ever get wrong, just assume that I've lost my
Fun
mind. Give me
story.
the wine.
This cover has two different versions.
Mm-hmm.
There's this version, and then there's a version where his left hand is actually peeking out from behind that cloth.
Interesting.
Well, I
Yeah.
understood. I did hear that he originally didn't have the missing arm, and that's why we got the dangle he painted over his original idea. Yeah. They forgot to
Yep,
tell
The missing
him
arm in the picture. Okay,
the
I
dude's
got you.
missing an arm. Yeah.
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 So let me just
At least
cover
in the
my
picture
hand.
he is.
Right.
Yeah.
Simple solution. Okay.
I love how there's that
from-
one soldier in the bottom left is like staring at him, horrified, like, good God.
Good God, man!
When you go
What
back
have
and you
you
look at
done?
these carefully, there are many of them where there's somebody who's looking just really weird. Like a couple of times, there's ones that you swear they're breaking the fourth wall. They're looking right at us, like, "What the crap?"
Mhm.
Like, no, seriously, guys,
I
what's
think it's-
happening here?
Also interesting to look at all the soldiers and realize they're all the same dude.
Yes,
It's the Clone Wars all over again.
it's Daryl K. Sweet in every single image.
It all just is a
The
circle,
origins of the
a wheel.
501st.
All right, Towers of Midnight. Who's missing?
That should be Matt, right?
That's Matt.
It should
That's
be.
Yeah.
Matt.
With the
Also, I would have
exceedingly long
accepted-
Ashandari blade.
I would have accepted also. Okay, I couldn't say any of the jokes I had this time because they were all spoilers. So, so it's just
Who's
Matt
the guy
talking.
that played wasn't there like a guy in the animated series that played like a dungeon master that wore like a green robe? Like the old animated D&D series. Do I would just remember wrong?
gosh.
Way back.
Yeah, the wizard.
Oh no, the old Green Goblin is what I'm thinking about. I don't know why I got those.
Ah,
Well,
Like the
that's very
OG
different, but-
animated, yeah, the
It
OG
is that green,
animated
though,
Green
yes.
Goblin, where he wore like the medieval peasantry clothes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Third age
All right.
Green Goblin. What we got?
Last one. Who's missing from this? Okay, this is a trick question. No one's missing. I can't
Alana?
touch this. It's all spoilers if I did anything with this one. So, it's just a beautiful picture. Admire it, people.
Honestly, I
It's
would have said
true.
to get rid of the sword that is not a sword, and you're fine.
But again, talking about it,
We can
Spoilers.
see it. We know that item.
it's a nice shiny sword.
I can think of a answer.
So fun story. I love the Daryl. First, I love the Daryl K. Sweet original artwork. Like when I first set out to get the full set of books, that's the artwork I wanted.
That's what I
Right?
have. Absolutely.
And that's what I eventually ended up doing, was completing my collection with that.
Yep.
However, when I finished the first book, I was talking to my buddy who introduced me to the first book, and I was like, "Wait a minute, Lan only has one sword." Yeah, no, I don't. Lan doesn't wear a helmet. Yeah, I know. Don't. Who the hell are these people? Yeah, look. And it's like I want to say book 7 or 8 was out at this time. And I was starting from the beginning, and he said, "Look, none of the artwork on the covers is going to match the story. Just go with it."
The redid covers were a little better for matching purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's just some nostalgic charm in the original
And
ones.
that's what it is.
I love
Well, I
looking
mean-
at book 1 and still seeing Dan in the background,
Yes.
chilling there on
Yes.
his horse.
If we're talking nostalgic charm, though, The Eye of the World doesn't feel like a correct book if it's not literally falling apart in its binding, considering that's what I read, because you'd read it about 15 times.
That
by the time
original
you got to-
paperback just did not hold.
No,
Not at all.
what if I no longer have that book in paperback anymore because I loaned them all out, never got them back. So now all I have is a hardback that I've never opened.
That's valid.
Because that's
Fair.
definitely what
I'd be
That'd be
happened. to me.
pristine. Yeah.
I've
I
got
still need to hit up I know 2 of the 3 people that have my original 3 copies. I need to hit them up and be like, "Where's
I
my
just-
book?"
I just realized I have that one signed too now, actually.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Yes,
So,
I-
he just casually says that one too.
Oh,
I have
humble brag.
How many
humble
signed
brag real
copies do
quick.
you have now?
4 currently, 1, 2, 3, and 5.
Man.
Which is really sad because my favorite book we have yet to find, but we think it's somewhere.
We're talking about Fires of Heaven, and I can't believe I didn't even bring this up because I don't want to brag, but
Do it.
this is
Do
my
it.
signed copy of Fires
Yep.
of Heaven.
Heck yeah.
There it is.
Let's share.
Zach
There
has a
you go.
matching one. Here it is. Get to the right page, Zach. There you go.
Damn.
But you have
Oh,
something I
yours-
don't.
He even
I
had
don't have
something
the
extra
sleeve.
in there, see?
You don't have the dust jacket?
Yeah, I don't have the dust jacket. So mine had something extra, or Zach's had something extra?
Zach's had, yeah. But you know, Zach, you do realize when you actually pick that book up now, you have to be so much more careful.
Oh, it stays on the. I don't read from that.
Yeah,
copy.
yeah.
It stays on the shelf.
If I
It's
pick
great.
any mine up, if I like something happens, it falls out of the car, it gets run over by a truck, I
Oh, yeah.
cry, and then I go pay $40 again and get another one. So yeah, take care of those, man.
That's all I have. I
Alright.
have the signed copy of book 5 without the dust jacket, and I have a first edition hardback printing of The Great Hunt.
Nice.
Cool.
No, but we are
Very
done
cool.
with book 5 now. I can leave that on the shelf where
Yes.
it stays pretty and not touch it.
Can't touch
That's
this.
it.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
Dude.
So I have one last question for us before we wrap today. This one, for some people, might approach sacrilege, but I'm going to give you a chance. Are there any aspects of the fires of heaven, or if not, and you need to stretch back and farther back into the first 4 books, feel free. But if you were Robert Jordan, is there something you would have written differently? Something he had happen in the story, and you can have the whole series in mind, just don't let spoilers leak out. What would you have changed? Is there something you would
Yeah.
have done differently?
I would have
Zach's already
gone
got something.
from the igloo and then just done a quick little cut to see Perrin happy on his honeymoon. Give us a little bit of Perrin, not a whole lot of it, but just be like, we did one fade to black. Let's do another fade to black to show Perrin's doing something.
Oh man, that could have been so great that they did the thing, they fall asleep. Next moment, it's Perrin waking up next to Fael. What a segue. Oh, that could have
And
been
not a
beautiful.
big thing. It's only one small chapter. I think it would have been nice.
Yeah.
I can
I like
resist no long, sheep herder. Suddenly, Perrin opens his eyes.
Oh, you're awake.
Did you get caught crossing the border like me?
For me, Zach, I appreciate your earlier expressed opinions on this. I would have added Matt killing Couladin into the. I feel jilted somehow. I feel robbed somehow because we got Matt defeating Gawain and Galad. Now, Matt's running around. He engages the Aiel only when he has to. And this fact that he's a Taviran and he just happens upon Couladin's groupies and Couladin himself, and they fight. I want to see how that battle played out because Matt was very much we're going to do this meticulously so that we can save as many people as possible. I'm sorry, Couladin's unit had to have been there had to have been so many people there. Or maybe there wasn't. Maybe that was part of Couladin's arrogance because maybe he's like, I'm the Karakar and I only need 4 people with me. That is pieces of the story that I want to see.
Maybe Matt played on his honor. It was like, fight me yourself, you coward.
Maybe he did. There's things that I think we need to know about that. And Matt just waking up and being like, "Oh, I killed Couladin? What?"
Yeah.
That's
for
mine.
me. For me, it would still be. I think it still happens in Fires of Heaven. I'm a little shaky on when all this. I think it was Fires of Heaven whenever Rand revealed the secrets of the IO history.
Shadow
No,
Rising.
it's right at the end of the Shadow Rising.
It's
okay.
right. Yeah.
So it would have been. So it fits either way. It would have either been, I think that was a good ending for Shadow, or no, maybe. I don't know. You could put it either at the end of Shadow Rising or put it at the start of Fires of Heaven. But I would have loved to have a Ruark POV episode or chapter where it was him and the other clan chiefs and the wise ones talking about what do we do. Kind of having
I think that would have been
powwow
good.
meeting.
Okay.
But I tend to enjoy a lot of the more political intrigue that the book has or that the series has in it. And I'll leave it at that.
I like that.
I really like pretty much everything the way it was, but the one that if it could have been different, and I really can't talk much about why, but I would have liked to see Asmodean not gone already. I think we could have had some more fun. Why does he have to leave? He's going to have to leave eventually. It doesn't work otherwise, but I could have done with him not getting rubbed out of existence right there. It would have been okay.
Rubbed out.
We're back to what
It's
we
so
do in the
hard
back
to
while we
say
cry.
goodbye to yesterday.
Full circle, just another turning of that wheel.
Full circle. We're back. And we're back, folks.
All right. Well, that's where we're going to leave this then. This has been a fun ride. Zach and I are soon to dive into Lord of Chaos and start working our way through another massively long book, but it's going to be good stuff. Guys, thanks so much for joining us today. Having just some goofiness and good conversation and fun. Speaking of goofiness, good conversations and fun, you guys have some big event coming up pretty soon. You want to mention that?
We sure do.
Big. Go on over if you want all the details in writing. When I say all the details, I mean all the ones we have right now before we add or remove more. Go to blacktowerpod.com/TGM Tango Golf Mike, as in The Gathering Madness, because that's what we're talking about. Every year we get together as close to October 18th or so as we can. If you go back and look at the history of the Black Tower podcast, our first episode came out October 18th, so that's our annual anniversary. We will be celebrating the completion of 5 years of doing this weird thing where we get together and talk and put stuff on the internet, and like 3 or 5 people listen to it for some reason still. We don't know why you guys listen. We love you all for doing it. So it'll be a fun event. We'll get together in Pleasant Grove, Utah this year, and we'll go and hang out and have a game night at the We Get Together Gaming Tavern. And then the next day, the really cool thing, we have Evermore Park in Pleasant Grove, Utah, all to ourselves from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. And then we'll leave for an hour and come back into the park. This is the second part, where you have to have tickets to the park, which you can buy on their site, or just hit us up because we may be able to help you out. And then we'll hang out there until like near midnight. And then Sunday we'll do something kind of chill out for everybody to leave. If you heard us mention or heard Josh mention earlier about Jim being a 3-time drink champion, it's because we do a big thing called the Watt Tales contest, where we invite everybody to submit cocktails themed from Wheel of Time, and then we will make the cocktails at the Gathering Madness and try them, and we will award different prizes like best backstory or best name, best tasting, just best overall or judge's choice, that kind of stuff. So that will be October 13th, 14th, and 15th this year, Pleasant Grove, Utah. Again, blacktowerpod.com/TGM for all of that information.
And if people still want to get rooms, because this is live right now, but this is going to stay up and available to everybody, so people will keep seeing this immediately. When is the last day that rooms are held?
So we have a room block with the Black Tower Podcast discount. If you go to our website that Andrew just mentioned, blacktowerpod.com/TGM, or you can go to Black Tower Pod, and then there's a Gathering Madness. You should click that right there. The link on our website will give you the discount for the event. And that is available until September 29th. So there is 6 days from this second.
Yeah.
That is just 1 day shy of a week. Now, if you can't get it within 6 days, you can still get rooms at the full price, blah, blah, blah. Of course, it's going to be awesome. We're going to have a lot of fun there.
And to put in perspective, the rooms, it's not like the hotel is like 10 minutes away. No, the hotel is literally directly across the street from Evermore Park.
Yes.
So for Saturday, you will definitely be, like I plan to be, within stumble distance of the hotel or the park. Depends on how early we start.
Yes.
So there you go. All right, y'all heard it there. It's going to be fun. I wish I could make it. I have a job that doesn't let me. But
you will be there in spirit.
I will totally
be
with
in
you
recipe
and
as well.
spirits.
And probably spirits as
well. I was about to say, and in spirits.
Yeah. Got to get my drinks in.
Get your drink in.
On that, though.
Submit
I gotta go next
your cocktail contest. We have a guest bartender this year who's going to be making our drinks. It is the infamous Tree Hugger. She is going to be there.
Wow.
She will be making.
She still holds the record for making the official Black Tower podcast shot. The
That's
Asha
it.
Moretto.
The Asha Moretto.
which is an excellent drink. Yes,
It's
I've had
so
that.
So good.
Yummy.
But she will be there. She will be our official taint dispenser for the Wattail cocktail contest. And it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Hey, it's nice. Tree makes drinks that are delicious and yummy. I make ones that will kill you if you continue drinking them. We all have our specialties. That's
Four Kings.
and a peachy crown. Okay, yes. That's it then. So, Zach, I'm not going to run any of our regular outro stuff because we're just all of our faces. They're nice to see here, but we should remind them. If y'all liked this episode, our craziness, our silliness, don't forget to like it down below, please. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We're at, before the episode, 515 subscribers now, which for us is like, we thought we'd get 5. We're 515 now. That's awesome. Keep coming and joining the fun, people. That's all it's here for. And you can also see in the show notes all the ways you can talk to us more. We've got a Discord server. Come chat with us there. We're all over social media, and we even have an email. We do answer emails when you send them. I think I've had to answer 3 so far. Most people don't have email anymore. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for being with us, everybody. We hope you had as much fun as we did. We'll talk to you next time. And ending the stream.